Friday's box office. We've also got Avengers Infinity War trailer breakdown and one or two more items. We got a special certified rad we're going to cover as well. So you guys are going to definitely want to stay tuned for that. But right now, let's go ahead and give everybody a second just to kind of hop in here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. This is Brunansky's vlog. Good morning. It's Monday morning. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jeremy Brunansky with Brunansky's vlog. I've got my iced tea. I've got my iced tea. I've got my iced tea here. I've got the box office report from this weekend. And let's go ahead and take a look at one news story then that dropped this morning. We are live right now. We are going to cover Friday's box office. So for this weekend's box office, on these Facebook Live sessions, we do like to cover the weekend box office. So what does that mean? That means that this is pretty impressive, as you'll hear in a minute. And I'm not going to give any spoilers, so don't worry. In theory, that film should have done gangbusters. This movie is so much fun. I think the rewatchability factor is super high. Wow, this was actually a fun time. I'm on board. Sign me up. Game over. If you're watching this on replay, thank you. All right, let's just get into it. Number 5, number 4, and number 3, number 2, and number 1. All right, we are back. We're live. It's Saturday morning. We got a lot going on as far as big movies are concerned this week, because tonight, as I'm sure everybody is aware, we've got the Star Wars The Last Jedi world premiere happening in Hollywood. So hopefully everybody who is able to attend that has more than enough fun for the rest of us. I know I'm super jealous. I can't wait for this film. It drops next week for all of us. So hopefully once that hits, we can all enjoy it, have a great time, and then we can get into some Star Wars speculation once we've all had an opportunity to check it out. But let's go ahead and jump into Friday's box office report and take a look at what everybody was watching last night at the movies. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So coming in, as we always do on this show, we go from number 5 to number 1, and that way we can kind of see what made the least to the most money and then take a look a little bit further into those numbers. So coming in at number 5, we have Thor Ragnarok. That came in at $1,676,000. Number 4 is Wonder at $2,510,000. Number 3, number 3, Justice League at $2,545,000. Number 2, The Disaster Artist at $2,623,000. And number 1, Coco with $4,272,000. So Friday's box office actually looks pretty good. As far as Coco goes, I'm not surprised. It is a really fun family film. It's a really good Pixar movie as well. So if you haven't checked that out, I definitely recommend it. Now, if you are watching this on the replay on YouTube, you'll see that I will throw the card up. Whoop, there it is. I'll throw the card up right here for you guys, so you can go ahead and watch that that review that I did of just Coco, and that way you guys can check that out. Also, I just saw Wonder, so on Monday's episode, we're gonna go ahead and drop the Wonder review. But spoiler alert, I absolutely adored this film. And this film is, right now, it's easily in my top 10 favorite films of 2017. I have started working on that because New Year's is approaching. And this film just was so touching and so well done. Spoiler alert, I loved it. But definitely check out the review once it drops on Monday's show, because there's a lot of really nice things that I say about the film that I think you guys might want to hear before you go check it out. That way you're just like, oh, this is what we're getting, and we're going to have a good time at the movies, because it really is just a good movie in general. And it's family friendly, so you can take the whole family. You don't have to worry about anything. There's no weird language or anything like that, so just have a good time. But let's take a look at Wonder, because Wonder, while it hasn't crossed, it's been in the theaters for 4 weeks. And every week it's been in the top 5. So I was like, that's interesting. And then domestically, it's made just over $94 million. So domestically, it's in a month's time, it's almost made $100 million. So job well done to everybody involved on Wonder, and job well done to all of you fine folks who are going out and spending your hard-earned dollars on these films. Worldwide, though, it's actually already made over $100 million. Worldwide, right now, Box Office Mojo reports that it's made over $107 million plus. So again, job well done. The movie deserves it. I walked into the theater and I was just like, wow, this was a really good film by the time I walked out. And yeah, I definitely recommend you guys check that out. Now, also on the box office, that's not in the top 5, but is still worth mentioning, Daddy's Home 2, still in the top 10. It came in at number 6, just below Thor Ragnarok. So Thor Ragnarok, 1,600,000 plus. Daddy's Home 2, 1,500,000 plus. So just a little bit shy of almost still taking the top 5 spot there from Thor Ragnarok. But kudos to Thor Ragnarok for hanging out, because that movie is a lot of fun. And if you're watching this on the replay, I will go ahead and throw that review up right here, and you can check that review out for Thor Ragnarok. Also, I did see Daddy's Home 2. In fact, you know what? No, actually, what I'll do is I will just throw the movie review playlist up here. Whoop, there it is, up here. And you guys can just check that out, because a lot of these movies I've already reviewed for you guys. Coco, Justice League, Wonder Goes Up Monday, Thor Ragnarok, Daddy's Home 2. Excuse me. Murder on the Orient Express, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri also is in the top 10. And that review is also going up on Monday. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and throw the card up for the movie review playlist, and you guys can just check out that. Just go right there. It's just the movie review segment, and you guys can check that out and enjoy that. And that way, if you've got movies you want to see when you're not holiday shopping, that might help kind of guide you in the direction of what you might want to purchase and spend your time with. So yeah, definitely worth it. A lot of good movies in theaters right now. And yeah, so let's move on, and we're going to take a look over here on the board right here. You can see that there is a new item up there, and that is eBay. So what I did is actually threw some of my comic book collection up there on Brunansky's vlog on an email page. I made a separate page for it. 2 of my collections have already sold. The Killer Be Killed has sold, and Paper Girls, that sold. Both of those sold yesterday, and Paper Girls was shipped out today. So this is all Christmas related stuff. So if you know people who like comic books, they may want to check those out. I will throw a link in the show notes below if you're watching this on replay, and you can go ahead and check out that page, because I do have the expedited shipping on there. That way it ensures that you guys get these items if you're going to purchase them for Christmas presents well before Christmas arrives. So you don't need to worry about that. Also, let's just talk real quick about the Stardust app. You can see here on the, oh, there it is. You can see here on the wall. Where is it at? Yep, there it is. You can see right there, that Stardust app. That's where I do all my movie trailer reviews. So if you haven't downloaded that, you might want to check it out. That's where, like I said, you get all the reviews from me on the trailers. So far on my Stardust page, I've got Early Man, Smallfoot, Greatest Showman, Ready Player One, You Were Never Really Here, Avengers Infinity War, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So those are the movie trailers that I've reviewed on that app. So you can go ahead and check those out if you have any interest in hearing my thoughts about the trailers that have dropped for those movies, which are yet to arrive in theaters. But I did want to, before we jump into some of the Avengers Infinity War trailer, I know that it's been out for a little over a week now, but everything that happened with Austin the dog, kicked me back. So let's jump in and just take a quick look at a certified rad segment that we're going to do specific for today. So this is, my mom actually told me about this, and she was like, hey, you might find this interesting. And this week's certified rad for Monday's episode has already been selected. So I was like, well, I've got Facebook Live on Saturday. I can just do a special certified rad with you guys. So we're going to do a special certified rad just for this episode because, as I said, Mondays is already taken care of. But Dogs on Deployment, this is a website. And after looking it over, it's a nonprofit. I was like, this is super certified rad. So I didn't want to waste any time with this, though, by pushing it back another week because here's why. Here's how this works. So Dogs on Deployment is like a pet boarding or temporary pet adoption service for active military. So if you're a serviceman, servicewoman, you know, if you're in any form of the military and you're getting ready to go out on active duty for, you know, a year, 18 months, whatever your term is, and you have pets, maybe you don't want to separate your pets because, you know, you've had them for a while. They grew up together, but now you've got to go out on deployment. So what do you do with your dogs if you don't have friends or family that can watch them while you're overseas protecting this country? Dogs on Deployment is there for you. And this is actually really cool. They actually help you. It doesn't matter where you are in the US. You just go to their website, and I'm going to go ahead for this Facebook Live. I'm going to go ahead and throw the link in the comments section. So give me 1 second while I do that. If you're watching this on the YouTube replay, this will just be in the show notes below for you guys. So you can just check that out there. 1 second while I just put that out. And there it goes. All right. Help military pet owners. So if you're watching this on live right now, you can just go ahead and go to the comment section. I just put the link there, and this is Dogs on Deployment. But what it is it just helps our military, the people who are going overseas to protect our country. And dogs, cats, pets are important, man. Pets are very important. So this service actually helps take care of your pets while you're protecting our country. And then when you come back, you're good to go. You got your pets. Everything else is super copacetic, and you can rock and roll back and forth with your dogs or cats or whatever. So check that out. Definitely certified rad, because these guys, and men and women, they're all going overseas to protect us in our military. And we've got a service that is actually going to take care of and protect and care for their pets while they're taking care of us. So people helping people. That's fantastic. So check that out. Like I said, if you're watching this now, it's in the comments. I just posted it. If you're watching this on YouTube replay, it's going to be down below in the comments section. So check that out. All right, so let's go ahead and move now into the Avengers Infinity War trailer breakdown. So if you had an opportunity to see this, which I'm assuming you did because it broke the world record for most views in a 24-hour period. So job well done to Marvel and Disney on creating a trailer that was going to really kind of get everybody pumped. But let's be honest. Let's just pump the brakes and not get like, how did it do? Everybody is excited about this movie. 10 years of filmmaking. Everybody is excited. This trailer could have dropped, and the trailer could have been something just like you see, like the scene in Age of Ultron when they're just sitting around talking and laughing. You could have had a trailer that looked like that, where these guys are just sitting around talking and waxing poetic about whatever, and people would have lost their minds as long as they showed Thanos at some point. But so, I mean, the bar was already set to a level to where whatever you gave us, we're going to be excited about. So let's just keep that in perspective. However, they did completely nail the trailer as far as I'm concerned. Now, I loved it. The scene with Captain America coming out of the shadows after he grabs that spear that's thrown at him by one of the Black Order. I can't wait. I can't wait. It looks so good. That final shot where it's Falcon and then also War Machine flying in behind Hulk and Winter Soldier and Black Panther and his army and Black Widow. Gave me goosebumps when I saw that. I was like, this looks bananas. But there's a couple things that were missing from the trailer. We didn't see Peter Dinklage, so we don't know who he's going to play. They didn't mention him at all. Ant-Man wasn't in it. Where's Ant-Man, right? Doctor Strange really wasn't in it that much. Like, we see Hulk has crashed into the Sanctum Sanctorum for some reason, and he's not Hulk anymore. He's Bruce Banner. So, like, there's a lot there. Now, if you saw Thor Ragnarok, there's probably some things we can piece together if we assume. Now, we're leading by assumption now. So if we assume that Hulk has been cast down from space by Thanos, because at the end of Thor Ragnarok, right, they're all on the ship. All of Asgard is on the ship. And then Kevin Feige confirmed that the ship that's in front of them is Thanos' warship. So if we assume that Thor gets knocked out, he gets TKO'd and knocked into space, and that's how he meets the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because if you went to D23 and you were actually able to get into the hall to see the special like sneak peek, I was not able to get into the hall. I was at D23, but I wasn't able to get into it. But I did see a bootleg, like someone threw it up. It was online for like an hour, and then Disney probably saw it and was like, you have to take that down right now. So I was able to watch it, like a bootleg version of it, through a website on Twitter. They dropped it, and I was like, I'm definitely watching this, because I went to D23 to see it, and I couldn't even get into the hall. So I will watch a bootleg version. So at the start of that, we actually see that Thor like slams into the front of the Guardian ship. Like he hits the windshield just like a bug would hit a windshield on a car ride down a highway. And then like he wakes up in the ship and he's like, who are you guys? So I'm under the assumption that Thor gets TKO'd by Thanos or someone in his group, and then gets thrown into space. And then the same thing happens to Hulk, but Hulk like finds his way somehow into the Sanctum Sanctorum through the Sanctum Sanctorum's roof with Doctor Strange, Wong, and as we saw, Tony Stark, Iron Man. So I'm pretty excited about all of that. I also am curious as to why we didn't see that much Doctor Strange. I'm wondering kind of where he disappears to at some point, because he does have the Time Infinity Stone. And at this point, he's just, master of the mystic arts. He's not Sorcerer Supreme. So he's not at his full capacity yet, like he is in the comics. So I'm curious to see how that's going to go. Now, if you've read this comic series, the Infinity Gauntlet series, you know that Nebula plays a very, 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 very crucial and important part in that storyline, especially towards the very end of it. And we didn't really get to see Nebula in this. So I'm curious, like, what's the next trailer going to be? How are we going to get to see some of these characters we didn't get to see in this first one? Are they going to flesh out the story a little bit more? Because Marvel has a tendency, just like Star Wars, where you get the same thing, but like with 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds of extra added footage. And then the internet goes crazy and they dissect like a second and a half or 2 seconds of footage. So I'm curious to see what kind of happens. And after reading this storyline, now, if you haven't read this storyline, I'll go ahead and throw a link for this on Amazon in the YouTube replay, so you can check that out. Really good story. It'll definitely kind of beef you up intellect-wise before the movie drops. It'll give you an idea of who some of these characters are and what their level of importance may or may not be. So yeah, definitely worth it. Check it out. But I'm curious just to kind of see how everything is going to play. Like, is that fight in Wakanda the end of the movie? Or is that going to be somewhere in the middle? Like, we also have that other planet that Tony Stark is on with Spider-Man. Like, is that going to be, because there's that set video that popped up with Chris Pratt. So it was Iron Man, Star-Lord, and then also Spider-Man on this foreign planet. And we see Thanos just slamming both of those guys around on this planet. So is that going to be the end? Like, are we actually going to go there? Like, what is Wakanda like the build up and then it takes place on this planet? Or is the planet happen and then after Thanos is done with those guys, then he comes to Earth and does that thing? Like, there's just so much. It's so good. I can't wait. But also, what happens with Loki? Now, there's a lot of people that are speculating people are going to die. Like, because contracts are coming up, people got to go. They're not re-signing, right? They're not re-upping like Robert Downey Jr. is. So what's going to happen with some of these folks? And I haven't really seen this online at all, and no one's talking about this. But my belief is that Loki would never just hand up the Tesseract, because the Tesseract for him that's like his baby. That's been his goal, to have that, to learn how to conquer that Infinity Stone since the first Avengers. Like that. Well, actually, even before the first Avengers, in that little after credit sequence where Nick Fury is talking to the doctor from Thor. I can't remember his name offhand, but he like opens it up and he's like, that's interesting. And then we see the Tesseract there, and that's when we know Loki is aware of it. So that's an after credit scene. So Loki has been chasing this thing forever. And I can't imagine, I just don't believe it in his character, who he is at his core, that he would just hand it over. Like, here you go. Yeah, we're good. Just take it. But he does look like he's got some fear in his eyes for that. So I'm wondering if he just watched his brother get his butt whooped and thrown out of that spaceship, and Thanos is like, give me the cube. And then he hands over the cube, and that's how we see that Thanos gets it in his gauntlet. And then like Loki dies. Like Thanos just kills him right there on the ship. Because as we know, Thanos does not tolerate weakness from his characters at all that are working for him, his minions. No weakness. You got to go. So I'm under the assumption that maybe Loki dies in this movie because of that. Like, I see Thanos taking the stone and then just boom, you're donezo. But let me know what you guys think if you saw the trailer. Let me know. Throw your thoughts in the comments below for Facebook Live. Also, go ahead and throw your comments in the comments below if you're watching this on replay on the YouTube channel. We're going to go ahead and get out of here now. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Again, thank you so much for all the kind words, text messages, and everything else with regards to Austin the dog. It's a process, but I'm still trying to get used to him not being here. But anyway, yeah. So thank you guys so much. Have a great week. I hope you guys are able to get out and see some of these movies. Again, check out that review, the movie review playlist in the card that I threw up earlier. If you have any interest in seeing any of those films, check out those reviews first. That way you can kind of have a better idea and you can gauge what you may or may not enjoy spending your time and hard-earned dollars at the movie theater with. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got some more stuff I got to record for Monday's episode, but we will see you Monday on YouTube for a brand new episode of Brunansky's vlog. I hope you guys have been having a great weekend so far. You're getting all of your Christmas shopping done, and you guys have a great week coming up. Take care, everybody. Merry Christmas. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremy Brunansky, and you've just finished watching a Facebook Live replay. Now, if you enjoyed that, you may also want to check out the weekly show playlist, as well as the movie news playlist, which covers just the news segments from every Monday's episode. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click that subscribe. We'll see you guys next Monday right here on YouTube for a brand new episode of Brunansky's vlog at 10 a.m. PST. Have a great week. Take care.